Hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. We are continuing our watch through of Doctor Who right from the beginning up to present day, and we are on the final episode, episode 7 of the Daleks. Called this story is actually called The Rescue. We've literally just sat through the ordeal, which could just be us describing the episode.
As for the episode,
it was the episode title as well. We've come through it though. We've made it. It's 20 past 11. We're going to get through this. We're going to finish the Daleks. I'm confident that this is going to be an absolute banger to finish. So yeah, anything you want to add before we crack on, Thomas? Oh, like and subscribe, obviously, but
nope. Let's watch it.
Well, let's crack-a-thon then. Crack-a-thon. I liked that first shot, the guy hanging on the rope. That was my favourite thing from the last episode. It's a good shot. The rope. I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, this rope's too smooth." Do you reckon? I reckon this guy's a goner.
It's not looking good for him.
That's a good shot. Oh, see, look, there we go. Sacrificing himself. We talked about sacrifice as a theme.
Oh no!
See, look, that looked good. I like that.
Oh, there was a real crash when he hit the bottom.
I'll be honest, the subtitle "Far Off Splash" kind of takes some of the dramatic weight out of what he's just done a little bit. I like how they're all a bit grubbied up now. That's well done.
Yeah.
See, already, we were literally watched, 2 minutes of this episode? It's already far better than episode 6.
Yeah, we're cooking on gas now.
Like the sound design again, got that sound.
Yeah, do you think it was a guy kind of just cowering over a microphone? Wow.
This has become like the weirdest ASMR video.
They're faster than I expected, actually. The way they can just whiz around. It's pretty cool that they can get them to move that fast. Oh, this is great. This feels very familiar to me, like the Doctor restrained the Daleks about to do something cataclysmic. And is it going to be the companions that save the day? There's another stoning.
Yeah.
This time Barbara has initiated a stoning. You can stone the Daleks, that's okay.
Yeah, you're allowed, that's all good.
Yeah, that's clever, because they draw their power. Yeah. Take that, you genocidal alien.
The Daleks have developed food by artificial sunlight. You've got everything you need now.
Unlimited quantities of fresh vegetables.
Only there'd been some other way.
Should have been another way.
That's a shot, isn't it?
You get a real good sense of the size of that set there, actually. It's really good.
We don't really know where you come from. To rebuild a whole new world. How I envy you.
Nice avoidance of the question there. We don't know where you come
I'm
from.
afraid I'm much too old to be a
Yeah.
Although I was once amongst my own people.
Well, then stay and advise us, please.
Interesting.
No, thank you.
He was
We're much
pioneer
far away from
once
home, my
amongst his own
grandfather
people.
and I. How stupid of me. I very nearly forgot my specimens. Oh, your hand, sir.
How very stupid of me.
I wish...
Barbara, we're waiting.
Oh, I feel like there was almost a moment there.
Little frisson.
Ian is like watching.
Yeah. Well, we said, we did feel there might be something between Ian and Barbara, but... Oh, hello.
Ooh, crumbs.
Gosh.
Well, that was custom in the day, wasn't it?
Come along, janitors.
A peck on the
On the mouth.
gullet.
I mean, you've only known her about 10 minutes in reality,
Yeah, it is hard though, isn't it, when they develop strong bonds and then just leave. What?
I think that shot of the TARDIS leaving was the first... I think it was an example of what they called roll back and mix, where you had to... Because, they mix this live. Like, how do you make that happen live?
Oh, yeah.
I think they would film up to the point, and then they had to kind of roll the tape back and kind of then mix the next shot together with it.
Okay.
Like, it's a different angle we're seeing the console from there, isn't it? Because the door's on the right-hand side there.
Oh, yeah. Man, is it going to go wrong every time they use the TARDIS?
So we're kind of leading straight into the next story. There we go. There we go.
Well, I feel like that was quite a satisfying finale.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it was definitely much more going on compared to the last story, wasn't it? The last episode we watched.
Yeah. I did enjoy that final battle. I quite like the fact that they just had to disable the power through the floor because they're like dodgems, and then you can just kick them and they'll just fly to the other side of the room. And you do sort of think, if only it were that easy nowadays. But of course, all those loopholes have been plugged, and now they can fly and go upstairs, and if you touch them, you die, and if you don't touch them, you die. And if there's one Dalek in a city, it will kill everyone. And
everybody dies. So. Yeah, I've written down a few different things from that episode. So I liked the very beginning where we saw the guy sacrifice himself on the rope. So it was nice to see that. Nice to see that use of that shot again, because I enjoyed that in the last episode. But yeah, I just thought that was quite dramatic, and it felt, and the way he disappeared. I mean, apart from the far off splash in the subtitles, I thought that worked well. I was also impressed by the grubbiness of the actors, that they'd kind of dirtied them up a bit. I thought that looked good.
yeah.
I think, though, for me, it's going to be between Ian kicking a Dalek across the floor, because you don't often see someone do a high kick on a Dalek and kick it around.
The audacity of that man.
So I think it's between that and the sound. But the good thing is, because it's the final episode, we get a bonus one. So I'm going to go for Ian kicking the Dalek as the best thing about that story, because I just like that image. And then as my bonus for the whole story, I'm going to say I like the sound design that we talked about, the Dalek, particularly in the Dalek control room, because I think that sounds great. And like I say, it does get used again, so it's another one of those things that has stood the test of time. So good stuff. Do you have a kind of, you get a bonus one?
Is it a bit of a cheat to just say the Daleks?
No, probably not.
Just as in, just to see the way they were done, and the first story containing the Daleks, and the fact that they're quite vulnerable at this stage, and they're working out how they can expand their reach beyond their own city. So they're not, as you said, they're not thinking in terms of intergalactic scales at the moment. They're just trying to go outside, basically. I thought that was interesting. All the groundwork for the Daleks is laid in those 7 episodes, apart from maybe the ordeal, which was the part 6. But other than that, it's iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It does sort of I think it does lay the groundwork. And obviously it was a hit with people at the time, because that it kind of cemented the show's popularity, and the Daleks obviously caught people's imaginations. I mean, the interesting thing, I don't know if you know, so if you think to in the modern era of Doctor Who, the Daleks appear all the time, don't they, in every series. Now, that isn't the case in the classic era. Although in the Hartnell years and the sort of black and white era, you do get Daleks quite a lot, because the show, I think, knew that they were very popular, and it was kind of cashing in on that.
So they kind of milked them dry.
Yeah, I think they do, but but I think what'll be interesting to see how the Daleks develop from just kind of, obviously the Doctor's never met them before in this story. But obviously it gets to a point where when the Doctor sees Daleks, like we know he would always talk about it as if it's a big deal, you know, that Daleks are his mortal enemies and stuff. So they go from being just these random kind of cyborgs that he meets here into becoming, you know, one of his main nemesis in the series.
Because you kind of don't want to overuse them sometimes, do you? Like,
no, and I don't know if it's true, but in the modern era, I mean, I think initially Russell T Davies wanted to get the Daleks for the first series, and it was a bit touch and go about whether he would or not. Because I think I said in the beginning of this story, Terry Nation's estate owns the rights to the Daleks, at least to some extent. I don't know about if there's some division of it with the BBC or how it works, but there was talk that there was this kind of thing in place in the modern era that basically the Daleks had to appear every year, or the BBC would lose the rights to use them.
right.
Hence why you were either getting a Dalek story every year, or you were getting sort of like a Dalek cameo, like in a story. Like even in the Waters of Mars, you get a Dalek appears in a flashback, don't you?
Oh yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And there's a story, I forget which one it is now, with Matt Smith, where there's just a very quick kind of scene which is like a flashback of him in a crashed spaceship, and there's a Dalek on its side which is still talking and stuff. I don't know how true that is, that the BBC have to do it, but
that would be a bit like how Sony has to keep making Spider-Man films, because in order to
yeah,
continue to own the character.
yeah. But so I mean, we're 2 stories down now in the series. How are you finding it all so far?
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying this. Like, I know we do joke about it a lot, but this is genuinely very very enriching and rewarding to be going right back to the beginning of Doctor Who. I mean, I am glad. I'll be honest. I am glad I'm not doing it on my own. Like, I think, you know, it would be. Yeah, it would be quite a lot of. Well, it's a lot of time and a bit of a. Yeah, it could be heavy going at times if you were to just crack through the entire classic era on your own. But no, excited to see where it goes next.
Cool. All right then. Let us know what you guys thought of the Daleks. Let us know what you thought of that final episode, The Rescue. Let us know what you thought of the whole serial. And we will be back soon. Do hit like and subscribe. That will really help us, and good to kind of keep spreading the channel out to other people. If you know other Doctor Who fans who you think be interested, please pass it on. That'd be great. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you hopefully in a few days for the next story. Take care until then. Bye bye.
Goodbye.